Okay, I believe it's all good to hear. Fine, let's moving on. We without further ado, let me show you how we can get started with using Microsoft Teams. Okay, first, welcome to Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is a hub for teamwork. It's like an application that helps you to pull together a team and work together using chat instead of an email. It's a workspace where you and your team can securely edit files at the same time, actually. And you are also able to see, let's say, who is liking your posts. You can also just like we use our social media, you can just put down your @ mentions, and you can just put your replies, and this is all possible with just one single tap. So I would like to mention here that what are the first 10 things that you can do when you just enter Microsoft Teams. So first is that you can start with a chat. So it's just like a small group of people, and it can be a group of people as well as on an individual basis. We can just start how we just start on a WhatsApp. It's just similar to like that. You can start a chat. Also, what you can do is you can rename the whole chat that this particular group of people of project are speaking, right? Then you can also pin it. When you pin it, it allows you to for an easy reference kind of that whenever you go on that interface, you can just go on that one particular chat and you can just start the conversation again. Next is connect from anywhere. So connect from anywhere is like, you can download the Microsoft Teams. There are multiple versions. You can download it on your desktop. You can also use it like, one of your mobile applications. And this will enable your teamwork from anywhere. So this is how you can connect from anywhere. When I say that you go big, how we can go big is that you will be able to create larger teams with dedicated channels to collaborate on specific, let's say, there are particular topics that you are talking on, you are working on a project. So any specified discipline that you are working in, you can just create larger teams into that dedicated channels. All right, customized channels as in you will be able to upload files to a channel, and then you can also, as I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to pin it. Okay, so when you pin it, you'll be able to see that which are the ones which are being used frequently, and this is going to make it easy for everyone in your group to just go and find it. Next is adding apps to channel. So what happens is that, for example, there are some of your favorite applications, okay, and you are using, let's say, Microsoft Word, Excel, or even let's say PowerPoint on day-to-day basis, correct? So all these applications, you can say, and services, you'll be able to add it as a application to your specific channel, okay, and this will allow you to converse more with your team, and you can also do your meetings while showcasing the same. So that is how it works. All right, do you have any question, Pushpa? I received your raised hand. Just do one thing, Pushpa. Please just write me down whatever you have, and I'll look into it. All right. Next is consolidating need to know content. All right. So what is happening is that, remember that we use wiki features so often, and then there is also now we have with Microsoft OneNote. So what happens is that any sort of particular content that you have, maybe meeting notes, best practices that you would like to adopt as a team, the goals, and this all these features such as OneNote, they'll help you to collaborate together, and this will also not clutter your conversations at the end. Next, we have are the Spotlight resources. So what you can do is that you will be able to pin your key websites with this. And what happens is exactly that you will be able to track in real time that maybe let's say news, the performance of your maybe let's say employees, also the live site monitoring, the metric tracking, everything is possible with this Spotlight resources. You'll be able to just pin it. Next is elevating your email conversation. So how you can do is, it's just so simple. You will be able to forward a whole chain of email to the Teams channel. what will happen is that you'll be able to get a faster feedback within a threaded chat itself, right? And with that also you can provide your attachments if you have any. So this what it promotes exactly is that collaboration and co-authoring, that multiple people are working on this same resource at the same time. Next is sharing content from other services. So Microsoft Teams is richly, connected with, let's say it allows you to set up connectors. So what do these connectors do is they will help you to push very, let's say, rich content that you might have at your end into Microsoft Teams itself. Let's say there is content coming from Bing News, or you are using Twitter, and let's say when you have it collaborated or integrated with Microsoft Teams, you'll be always notified whenever the users of that particular channel engage. Next is help foster active channels. So what happens exactly here is that you'll be able to stay very active in a particular channel. Let's say your manager added you in a group, okay? Then he wants to convey some message that at the rate team, please complete your task of this. So this at the rate functionality, it is going to promote that who exactly is being referred to. All right. Moving on, let's just have a quick start guide. As of now, I'm showing you this on this screen, but I'll also show you the live demo of the same, that how exactly a Teams interface looks like. Okay. Here, when you see the Teams interface at the right top corner, you'll have your profile. Profile, as in it's just so friendly. You can add your profile picture. Then what exactly is that your status? Okay, whether you are available, whether you are away. If you are in a meeting, then other people who are actually collaborating with you on Teams, they can see what exactly are you, where exactly are you. Okay. Next is also any sort of changes, any sort of settings, privacy settings, and so on. You can do that. Next is, let's say you want to download the mobile download the mobile version. You can do it right from here. Okay. Next we have on the upper corner is that this whole space, it allows you to start a search functionality, and it also works as a command. But let me show you how it works. So I'll get back to that again later. All right, on this left edge, we have the following functionalities. So this here, right here, what is happening is it's just like a menu, okay? And first one we have is activities. So it's just like activity on a day-to-day basis, that if someone is liking your post, if someone has messaged you, or any sort of notification that is happening, someone has called you and in case you missed their call, then you will be notified. So activity is just like that. It gives you real-time notifications. Chat is like, it can be in individual basis, group basis. Next is we have Teams. Okay, Teams is like you are creating channels. Channel as in, see right here, maybe on this screen you'll be able to see a bit that here there is, let's say, a finance team is working here. There is a human resource channel. So people of, let's say, who are working in the HR domain, all of those people will be added to that particular channel, and the conversations in specific to that discipline can be initiated in that specific area. Okay. Next is your calendar, files, everything can be integrated with Teams. Next is there are some three dots. Okay, this three dots is like you'll be able to find your any other apps which you would like to integrate here. Okay, at the end of the page, what we have is that add apps. So just like how we have Play Store, Teams also has its own store. Okay, and when you launch this store, what it happens is that you'll be able to browse different applications that are provided by default by Microsoft. So that's how this whole works. But let me show you in reality the same thing. I'll come back to that later again. What are the few things that we can this is just a quick brush up that how we are getting started in a Microsoft Teams. Okay, first is we are having the sign in. Okay, so just go to on your Windows, click start. You'll be able to we have this Microsoft Corporation, click on it and click Microsoft Teams. And just like that, on we have the same on Mac. You go to applications folder and just click on Microsoft Teams. And also you can download the mobile version from your Play Store as well. And once you have your own Microsoft user ID and password, you can just sign in. All right, next is starting a conversation. Starting a conversation is as simple, just go, there is one particular tab, you click on it, you just write the person who you would like to start the chat with, write his name, and you can just get started. Next is picking up a team and channel. So I showed you, right, that on the left bar we have, it's just like a menu. You go on Teams and select the channel exactly where you would like to, initiate the conversation. So it's, these channels are exactly, what it is, like a particular group of people who are collaborating, let's say on a project, or are people of a particular department, and they can just keep their conversation going in that one particular window, right? So there is no clutter of different conversations that are going on. All right, you can then you are having a starter meeting. Okay, starter meeting is a very friendly tool. What is happening is that it's just like an instant meeting that you want to have with one particular person. It is not restricted to one person. You can also start the same in a channel. Okay, and you can just see it below here, that when where you have the conversation tab, below that you will have this one mark. You can just click on it and it will instantly start a meeting. Then we have are making video calls and audio calls. Okay, on the top right corner where you have your profile settings, under that you'll have two features, video call and the audio call. You just click on it. It can be on individual basis as well as in a group, both the ways. Also, in case, let's say you started a call with someone and someone didn't pick it up, you can also leave a voicemail. Next is replying to a conversation. It is as simple as you are just chatting with someone. Replying also means here is that, for example, someone in a group stated that I think this is my point of view. Now, in that one particular person you want to reply to that one, you can just click on that thread and you'll be able to reply. Next is @mention. Okay, so this is very convenient. You can do it three ways. One is @name of one specific person. You can pick it from the list. Then you have @team if you are referring to a whole team, and it can be also a channel. This also, once you mention someone, they will be notified. Next is add an emoji, meme, or GIF. So this is also one handy tool. What happens is that just it's actually very friendly also. Just like how we make conversation in a WhatsApp or any social platform, that we share sometimes smileys, any kind of meme. So or everything can be same similar. You can do it from here, from this platform as well. All right, staying on top of things is it would be like activities. I mentioned that it's like a day real time feed you'll be having. Okay, that let's say someone put mention to you, someone put down that someone liked your post just now, then you can just go and check on your activities. Next is adding a tab in a channel. So if you are in a specific channel and let's say you want to also integrate Excel forms or something in that particular channel, you can do that. Sharing a file can is just like you click on this button. It is just below the conversation tab. Here you will be able to talk, upload a file in three methods. One we have is browsing from the Teams and channels itself. One we have OneDrive, and one we have is the upload from your computer itself. All right, and working with files. Working with files is a very friendly method to work as in co-authoring, kind of, that multiple people at one single point of time can collaborate together. Before we jump into what's new that's happening in Microsoft Teams, let me show you what has come down recently. Right. So this is the interface of an Microsoft Teams. I hope you guys can see it. Okay. let's say this is my friend Carol Carter. She's also working. She's my colleague at Bitscape. Okay, and the interface looks just like this. Let's get started with the top right corner. Here I'll be clicking. So as a user, I am as of now Daniel Dawson. I can click here. Once I click here, I'll be able to change my profile picture, remove it, upload it, and so on. What else do we have is the status. Okay, available, busy, do not disturb, anything that you need to set it. You can also set the status message. You can manage your account. Next is what we have is you can do your settings, keyboard shortcuts. As I mentioned earlier, right, that you can download the same. Right now I'm using the browser version, okay, but you can also download the desktop app or the mobile app right from here. Okay, then here at this corner I have the if I just click on this, I'll be able to place an audio call, video call, and I can also, for example, right now I'm only talking to Carol, okay, but if I want, all right, then we have here is Carol Carter. So what's happening is here that I am opening her people's card. Here what I'm able to see her is the whole profile. Okay, she is working at the director. She is a part of management team. I can right from here, I can send her a quick message. I can email her, call, what's her location, and so on. I can just put down a chat. Here I can see is the organization chart. Okay, let's see, from this, what happens is that I can see who she is reporting to and so on. Next is again playing, the playing the part of, let's say, video call and audio call. So everything can be done from people's card as well. Okay, here I can start a chat with her. I can just put down hi. Then I can upload files from here. I can attach. I can put out emojis, GIF, and so on. Next, what I have here is that I can share files with her. Let me show you the interface. Let's say right now I haven't so far shared anything with her, but let's say if I want to, I can just put down share in OneDrive and upload from my computer. As well, if there are any in the past you have shared with her or sorry, any of your colleagues any files, then the whole list will appear here. Okay, and you'll also be able to download it again in case you lose it. Then on organization, it shows your organization chart. Here you have the activity. Also the plus sign, it's like adding the tab as I mentioned earlier. Let's say you want to add Excel and so on, but I'll show you one how to add a tab. Okay, on this left corner, I am having this. Okay, first let's talk about these two buttons. I can start a new chat. I can write down the name of someone. Okay, and I can see. So I can start a whole together a new chat from here. Then here on this corner we have, okay, this is one of the integration that I have performed, that one app that I use on regular basis. Then I have integrated it here. Then this is my activities corner, any activities that I carried out so far, everything will be here. You will see mentions, replies, and other notifications here. My chat, the whole history is right here. Teams, right now I'm included in a general channel, so I can see whatever if I can start, I can just start a new conversation right here. I can manage files, events, key, and so on. Calendar, calls, everything can be managed from here. As I mentioned earlier, you also have apps, and here at the end you can also click on help in case some point of time you get lost what I need to do next. Also, in case if you are creating a team, let's say, then you can create it from right here. All right, so this is just a overall gist of how a team interface looks like. But in just as recently, there are so many new features that have been introduced by Microsoft in Microsoft Teams itself. Let me show you what are they. All right, first one, what we have. All right, the first one we have the live captions. Okay, so what is happening here is that for example, let me state that if you're in a very loud place and you cannot use your speakers or headphones, but you can still follow the whole discussion with live captions help. Additionally, if some of the meeting attendees, let's say there are some people who are very hard of hearing, trust me, and they are also there are at times people that who are very not proficient English users, then we are very sure that the live captions will come in very handy. Also, this feature, it's making it easier for you to follow up along with the conversation, that like what's going on, what is actually the host speaking. I would just recommend that use a high-end quality mic and speak directly into it, and this will help you to, for an accurate captioning. Let me show you right now itself in our interface while we are having a conversation. Okay, fine. We are having some people here. What you can do is go to this three dots, more actions. Okay, at the whole list. I will explain one by one feature, but let's go with the flow that we are talking about turning on the live captions. Okay, I'm going to just click on it. Turn on live captions. All right. I hope you'll be able to see on my screen that what's going on. Right. Hello everyone. How are you? And you can see my transcript. All right. So these are the live captions option we have with Microsoft Teams. Just like that, as of now, I'm going to turn it off. All right, that's the first feature that we have as of now. Next, what's up is, all right, spotlight an individual video participant for all attendees in a Teams meeting. Okay, so okay, this is a very good feature. I like it personally. This is a feature, it is allowing you to set the spotlight on a video feed and making sure that this is pinned for all attendees. The spotlight feature will actually, how it is going to help that as a presenter, I can pin an individual video feed for all of you right now, all of your attendees. Okay, and if I want that one particular video is only streamed at your end, you only see one video that I am live streaming, then you can see that. So also let me just state that it applies to PC, Mac, mobile. In mobile, it is only in the view only mode, and you can also use it with Microsoft Teams room. All right. Now at this point, I have to ask some 6 to 7 volunteers to please turn on your camera for 5 minutes. There are some amazing features that I'm going to show you. All right, we have 3 people so far. All right, okay, 3 people are also fine. Let's try to get it worked. Okay, and let's say Kiran Patel, he's here with us. I hope you guys can see the screen. So see, when you start the screen, his name is right here, Kiran Patel. Okay, and under that we have 3 dots. I'm just going to click on it. Let me click on Spotlight. It will, okay, this is for one authentication. It will ask me to authenticate it. I'm going to Spotlight it. All right, and now only with, as I'm hosting this event, only I can change the setting. I hope everyone can see Kiran on the screen. Yeah. All right. So that's how this feature works. The hosts who are usually presenting and they need it that one particular feed is only shown to all the attendees. This is a very handy tool. All right. You can also switch it off just like this. Stop spotlighting. Also at every end we will have an authentication that when you start and stop a feature. Okay, I'm still going to ask few people to keep on the cameras just for 5 minutes. There is one more feature that is coming in for live streaming. Okay, next up we have is the together mode. Okay, together mode, it is like a, let's say, virtual filter that we have for your meetings, and it will help all the members, they'll be appearing in a collective virtual space. Now, as of recently, Microsoft has included this functionality to, right now you'll be able to see that it is only appearing in an auditorium. But let's say they are still working on improvising it, that there are different kind of backgrounds. Now at this, I have the following input that it is very beneficial tool in the following cases. One, that it is pretty much ideal if there is a meeting going on and there are going to be multiple speakers in that meeting. Next is that it's a very ideal option for also people who have to attend a lot of meetings one after another, and that includes me too. It is also very helpful, let's say, in the educational sector, it is pretty much helpful these days. Okay, as of recently, students are, joining these live sessions from home, but teachers need to keep a, hand at what actually my students are doing. Then this is very handy. And then we have that sometimes there are some speakers who have to rely on audience feedback, correct, and to see that how the meeting is being progressed, in what flow it is going. So this is where together mode comes in very handy. All right, let's try it for us. 5 people, 5 to 6 people I need for this. Kiran sir, please again. I'm going to ask you again. Yes. I still need 2 more volunteers, please. I see on my screen Kavisha Shah, Keyur Vyas, Soham Patel. Please. The only reason why I'm asking is that the together mode is enabled only when there are more than 5 people in a meeting. That's why. All right, then let me switch on my camera. How about that? Okay, fine. We have the 6 volunteers. Great. All right. So what happens is that, let me just dismiss this for now. I'll go on this 3 dots again, and right here I am able to see the together mode. Can you see it? So I can also see that it is written share a virtual space with others. All right, let me just put it on together mode. All right, I hope you guys like this feature. This is my also favorite from today itself. All right. Okay, so this is how the together mode works for us. Okay, fine, great. And I just switched it off again. Let's go back. Right. Then we have is the next feature coming in, preventing attendees from unmuting in Teams meeting. Now this is a very handy tool to me today. It came in very handy. What happens is that as a presenter, when I'm talking, and there are sometimes that there are also other people coming in. So what happens is that this feature will actually help me to only unmute those people who have, let's say, raised their hands and would like to speak. And I would say that this is a very helpful tool when it comes to press conferences and classroom scenarios, where it's like you are being control of the one who is going to speak. Okay, so let me show you how it is enabled. But let me show you the participant page here. Okay, now can you unmute yourself? Naitik, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, please. Let me say where is he.
Hello.
Yeah, see, he's here. All right. Okay. I also have the option to mute everyone at once. Okay, that also works. And let's say where is Naitik? Right here. So I can also just mute the participant. Also, if I'm just not enabling the feature or making the permission level right now, because if I will do, then you guys won't be able to speak again until I allow you to. So let's not do that. But this is one of the feature that we have, that as a speaker, you are the one who is in control, and you will be able to take control that whether this person should speak, whether this person should not speak. Also, this feature will give you one more thing, that you'll be able to mute everyone at once, and if there is one particular speaker that you would like to mute, that is also working out. All right, the Microsoft Whiteboard read-only mode. Okay, so previously what happened is that this whiteboard feature was, it's like if we all of us are in a meeting, okay, and everyone was allowed to edit, okay, and this was creating such chaos that multiple people were working together at the same time. So it didn't help at that time. So what Microsoft did is that the speaker, or let's say the one who is hosting, or let's say the admin person for now, that he will be the one who can enable a read only mode for other attendees. Okay, also if required, he can allow others to edit and collaborate, but given the access. Let me show you how. I'm just going to share, stop sharing and start again. 1 minute. All right, Chandresh, do you have a question? Please let me know. Just put down in the feature and I'll look into it.
Okay.
All right, I hope everyone can see the on your screen a whiteboard is coming in. All right, let's wait for 10 seconds more. All right, I hope you can see it now. All right, here, let's say I'm just going to write my name today.
Kanan, can you please explain again how this whiteboard is going to be open?
Yeah, you just go back on share content, okay? It's like here, you go on share content and just click on Microsoft Whiteboard. Okay, let me do that.
First, you need to share your screen.
Just a sec, just a sec. Actually, it doesn't work both the ways. It's like, as of now, if I'm sharing whiteboard, it will be seen on everyone's screen. That's how it's working. Because if I have started, you'll be also able to see the same thing. It's just like on the top right corner, you will have a button that says share your content. Let me come back to that later again. Okay, just a sec. But I hope everyone can see that I'm trying to write down something on the whiteboard. Okay. What happens is that if I click on the settings part, I can just change the settings to that. I don't want to allow anyone else. I can just put down that enable and enable. I'm just putting down it on enable. Just a sec. All right, that's also done. Okay, so that's how the read-only mode worked. It's providing the flexibility that you can present everything in the digital method. Okay, and as a presenter, I can put it down on read-only mode. If you guys couldn't see, let me tell you just right from this picture how it works. You go on this settings button, just click on that. When you click on that, you'll be able to. There will be a button that enable, enable. You just need to slide it. That's how this works. And as soon as you put it on enable, everyone will be notified in the read-only mode, right? Okay, so next we have an amazing feature coming in. Just a sec. I hope you guys like that. All right. Next is we have is the chat and collaboration set present status duration. Okay, now how is this going to help everyone is that, for example, if I need to leave for a meeting, I have to go on field for coming 2 hours, and I need to set my status to away for coming 2 hours. How will I be able to do that? Let me show you that. Just go on your profile. Okay, you can see that right now Daniel is available. You go on that, click on duration. Let's say you are going to be busy, appear away for how many hours? 2 hours, and this is just done. When you do that, you'll be away for coming 2 hours. Can you see that the status changed? Also, can you see down to it that it is written away until 6:41 p.m. So that's how it's going to work for setting the duration hours. Next coming in, we have is the next feature.
My apartment, and while it can be challenging at times sharing a space with my roommate, I love the fact that I save an hour each day for my commute to the office.
Yeah, a lot of my colleagues are starting to work back in the office. I think they just find it a quieter environment. And hey, there's really good parking right now.
So I got an email from the GM last week about the new work from home policy for next year. I think when things get back to normal, I'll probably still work from home at least twice a week.
All right, I hope you guys like this. This is like a noise. This is AI-based noise suppression tool that has been introduced by Microsoft just recently. So this is actually going to help you in a very longer run. Right now, even I have enabled it. There are 3 options that you will have with this itself. Let me show you how you can also set it up. Noise separation, this is basically, how it is used is that it will detect your speaking signal rather than the background noise. It will just minimize all the background noise that you are having. How you can set it up is like this. Let me go back to our meeting right here. Go to your more actions, go on device settings. I have on device settings. Okay, see, can you see right here I have enabled the noise suppression to high. High, it is only going to detect whatever I'm going to speak. It will not detect any background noise, any sort of vacuum, the AC, sometimes coolers are also working around us. Then these noise will be suppressed very easily. There are 3 types of things that you can do. You can set it to high, low, off. Now this depends completely on the setting that you are around. Okay, so this is one of the feature that we have with AI based noise suppression. Right, end of what happens is that if we are approaching towards any end of meeting notification, so we are approaching towards the end of the meeting, then you will be notified that only 5 minutes are left. Now what will happen with this is that the speaker itself will be notified that you now need to wrap up, or you maybe need to summarize the whole point of discussion. So that's how this feature also works. Okay, adding a shared calendar to a Teams channel. Okay, for example, now all of us are working on a project. Let's say let me go to our Teams channel. We are all working on a project, okay, together. Then I can, and we have a specific type of calendar, okay, that we all will be working at every morning 10 o'clock. We will have daily status meeting. Now this should be, let's say, told to everyone in the group that it is similar, right? Correct, for every member that at 10 a.m. they have to attend this meeting. So we are creating this daily calendar just by default. Now you have the option here, two things. You can also post this. You can unclick if you don't want to post it. But if you just post it, then in this channel everyone will be notified that a calendar has been added. Okay, let me just show you how. Setting up. And we have a calendar. Can you see that under this general channel, post, file, manage events, wiki, and now we have a new tab that is daily calendar. So this will be specified to that one particular group. I can go back to post, and can you see that as a user, Daniel Dawson added a new tab at the top of this channel. Here's the link, and you can just go on, and if you go here, it will redirect you to here, to this daily calendar. So that's how it's working. Next up we have is, okay, we have, as of just recently, means just this March, Microsoft has introduced Microsoft Viva. Let me just give you an overall gist. What is Microsoft Viva? It's like an employee experience platform which is bringing together communications, knowledge, the learning, resources, insights, everything under one full package on one platform. This is powered by Microsoft 365, and this is primarily, as of now, it is being experienced through Microsoft Teams as such. Now, we feel that Viva fosters a very good culture where there are many people of an organization, or let's say teams, are working together, and this empowers to be your best at every point of time. Let me just give you an overall gist. What are these four features? Okay, Microsoft Viva has four modules under it. One is Viva Insights. Then we have Topics, Viva Learning, and Viva Connections. Okay, so Viva Topics is like you will be able to organize your knowledge into topic pages. Okay, your organization experts can share and refine knowledge through let's say curated topic pages, automatically generate this, and this is also updated by AI. Next is we have Viva Connection. So Viva Connection is like it's like a personalized destination kind of thing where you'll be able to discover relevant news, conversations, and the tools that you might need to succeed. So it's like an inclusive corporate culture where everyone has a voice, correct? So it's just like a feed that is coming in, and people who want to share their thoughts and what have they recently maybe achieved, everything can be posted and everyone in the organization can be engaged. All right, then we have Viva Learning. So it's like a center where skill development tools are provided. It's like just like how we have LinkedIn Learning, it's Viva Learning. So it's powered by Microsoft too. And then Viva Insights. All right, Viva Insights are like, it gives you insights into your daily work. Let's say if you are you have done the following activities today, then it will list that down for you. Also, it works for manager insights and leader insights. Manager can track the tasks of their the people who are working under their team, and likewise it falls for leader insights also. Let me show you what's the interface of Viva Learning. I hope you can see the screen. All right, so this is how Viva Learning looks like. That it's just like a library, okay, And you can there are two things that you can do. You can put you can just select your favorites and put it under my learning. You can track that where you maybe you paused it for a while and then you want to get back to it. You can do that, and then you can also manage the same. So when you will have Microsoft Viva attached to your dashboard, attached to your Microsoft Teams, it will be on your just like on your left menu right here, and you will be able to see how your dashboard would look like. So it also it is mobile friendly tool as well, so you can see the same things on mobile. All right, some quick tips and tricks. Just a sec, let's start. One is translation of Teams messages. Now this is a very handy tool. Let me show you. I am lately I'm trying the same with my teammate. So let me show you how it's working. All right, let me say that hello. I want to, let's say, translate it. Okay, I'm just going to write. As of now, I have selected that the language in which it should be translated is Gujarati. So can you see that when I said hello translated, I had done the configuration that it should be translated into Gujarati. So that's how this works. Okay, if you want to see that how you can go to it, is just that under the conversation part there is this 3 dots we have. You can just choose translate from there. So that's how this translation of Teams messages works. Then you can also post a message to multiple channels at once. Okay, this is a very handy tool as well. Let me show you how. Go to new conversation. You click on this A. Okay, let's say I am having something to write to someone. Let's say, and you want to post the same into multiple channels. You can just click on this multiple channels. Select channels. You will have all the options. You can also select that who can reply. So these are some of the primary settings that you can do with Microsoft Teams. All right. There is one more thing that is known as transcription. Let me show you. I'm going to enable it now. I was waiting that how we can enable it. Do we have any apps on MS apps like SurveyMonkey? Yes, we do have that. It's just like I only mentioned about Excel, PowerPoint, but the apps that you have mentioned that are also inclusive under Microsoft Teams. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about transcription. Okay, so transcription is like let me say that we all of us today are in a discussion. Okay, and I want that at the end of this meeting, you have access to whatever I have shown or whatever I spoke during the whole webinar. Okay, so what happens is that you'll be able to get hold of this transcript post meeting. You can also download the same in Microsoft Documents. You can just download it. So this is just like an easy reference. This is also like you can say an MOM, minutes of meeting. Sometimes that you had a meeting with your respective executives and a team, and you just need a whole transcript of what happened. So this is how the transcription works. Let me just turn it off for now, but still, even if I'm turning it off now, whatever has been recorded so far on the transcription, you will be able to download it. Show transcript and stop transcription, I have both the options. Let me just stop for now. Okay, so these are the following things that we have. Every time you will also be notified what are the actions that are being performed on Microsoft Teams. All right, I had the following inputs, some of the new features that we had recently on Microsoft Teams. Okay, just some to add to it, some cross-functional collaboration. You can create, collaborate, and show results. Multiple teams can work together. I'll just state one example right here that let's say there is a marketing team, and it's very easy. It becomes very easy for them to manage their marketing campaigns, their social channels, and they will be able to also collaborate on the content creation, or let's say the planning events. The calendar is also shared, right? So this is how it is going. It's helping all different teams, and they can come together on one platform. Next we have is take the next step today. I would request you all to try your hand on Microsoft Teams today itself. So, all right, so invite your colleagues to a team and start the conversation in Teams today. It's a very good option rather than having an email conversation, I would say. All right, just to summarize it, you can add your channels, you'll be able to create tabs. So when I say tabs, it's I saw a question earlier in the chat box that someone mentioned that SurveyMonkey and all those third-party applications, whether they can be integrated. So yes, they can be very well integrated, just like Microsoft tools. Next is using bots. Bots can be also there is like let's say automatic replies should come in. That is also possible. Then we have personalize your workspace with your unique profile picture. Okay, this is profile picture also comes. You know, this is one of the favorite these days, and you'll be also able to. You have the option to change your app settings, notification preference, language, and much more. All right. Fine. So thank you very much. You have been a very patient audience. Thank you again for taking part in this session and taking out your valuable time. I am hoping that everyone enjoyed this amazing presentation that I had, and you had great takeaways as well. Now, in case if you have any question, the floor is open. Please. Alright, please appraise the equivalent apps available in MS Teams. Alright, besides like can we have a formative assessment examples like questioning of trainings for understanding, knowledge check games, and use of technology applications such as Poll Everywhere, Kahoot, Canvas. Yes, this can be done. What I'm going to do is I will share with you a particular link. I'll share with everyone. You can refer that link. It will provide you the whole detail on that. Okay, I have Anil Kari. Can you please repeat how much we can reply to a particular chat, or how we can reply to a particular chat or messages? All right, just a sec. Here, just like here, let's say Daniel Dawson, he added a new tab of this channel. Okay, I want to reply to this one particular answer. Also, wait, let me show you. There are two things that Daniel Dawson has done recently. Okay, he added a new tab on top of this channel. Here's the link. There are two types of conversations he started. Now I need to reply to this one particular thing. I'm just going to click on reply. So that's how it works. How? Okay, I have Alpesh. How to chat and video directly with external users company. For external users, all right, when I showed you the feature of audio call and video call, it is very much restricted to your organization or colleagues. All right, the people who are under one organization, they can do internal audio and video call. That we can do it from right here on chat. Okay, but let's say if there are any external users who are coming into picture, we have the just like today how we sent you the the meeting invites. Just like that, you can also send the meeting invites, and then you'll be able to collaborate the same way. It again, it's not working on single chat, right? Yes, it's not working. How to mute or participant permanently, like they don't have rights to unmute yourself. Okay, that is very simple. Let me show you again. I go here. I put it on these three dots. All right. See, I can also. This is one more new feature. Okay, I just showed you. What happens is that if there is any external user who is coming to your meeting invite, once they join, they will be only when I admitted that person can come into the meeting. That's how it works. So you can also see your participants from this column. Now what happens is that, let's say if you want to just mute everyone at once, as of now there are so many people who are unmuted. Sorry, muted. Can you unmute yourself? Alright, can you? Naitik, please put yourself on unmute. Okay, can you see that he has unmuted himself? So I get the option of muting everyone. I just click on this. Once I click on mute all, All right, let me just show you how it works. This will mute everyone in the meeting but you. You just click on mute, and when I do this feature, what happens is that only after I allow someone, I go on this and I will have one more option. Rather than mute participant, I will have another option that whether do you want to allow that speaker to speak again or not. And that can be judged from the fact that he'll be raising a hand like that. Okay, any more questions coming in?
But madam, I think this feature is not working. When I mute all, it's someone wants to unmute themselves, we can unmute from inside.
Sorry, come again. I didn't get your question.
If I am an organizer and I mute all the participants forcefully, and after that, if someone wants to unmute themselves, he can unmute. But we need to restrict this feature.
Correct. So yeah, what is happening here at this moment is that right now you are not the organizer, so it can't be worked. But try once with your internal colleagues who are at your organization, and then you'll be able to do it. Right now, it won't be possible because I have currently my meeting rights. Correct. So it's only allowed by me. So that's how it's working as of now.
So when we are going to organize the meeting now, it is option is available in a Teams setting.
Correct.
So when you are going to create that lobby now, nobody can unmute themselves. So only the organizer, only the speaker can do that unmute or mute them.
Yeah, only the speaker will allow that whether you are going to speak or not.
Even screen sharing and many options are there.
Yeah.
For that, we need to restrict from admin side, or we need to restrict at organize
directly on Teams meeting.
Yeah.
On Teams. Okay, sure.
So if I'm going to share my screen, just a minute. I'm just giving you the glimpse how it is.
Yeah.
Hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. So here's the setting option is there. Meeting options. If I'm going to click on this, it takes some time because it is a control panel. Just a minute. We're loading.
It means we cannot able this activate this feature on continuing in this meeting. We need to
We need to decide how. For example, this there are so many guests is coming and there is pop-up is coming, right? We are going to admit it, so we can also set those things. Who are going to admit those participants, right? From here, right? Just a minute. Who can present everyone, or the specific organization or a guest, right? And here allow mic for attendees. If you are disallow this, then nobody is going to be speak. Allow camera for attendees, allow meeting chat. You can disable or enable everything from here. If this is fixed in this with the very beginning of the meeting, then only the admin thing is in your hand.
Okay, understand.
Yeah, I'm going to stop my screen. Yeah,
all right. Yeah. All right, taking it ahead. There are a few more questions I had recently. We had who is this? All right, wait. One by one. There was one question asked by Nilofer. She asked that if 4 to 5% are we working with shame sheet in one group, then how can we get any notifications? Okay, you notifications as in what happens is that if there are multiple people working on one, let's say Excel, then what happens is that in that one particular cell, if someone is writing, then their initials will come in, and if there is another cell that another person is working, so anywhere that person is placed, the initials will come in. Also, in case if there is being used on Microsoft Word as well, then you will be notified at the top of the page that this person is also accessing this particular document. Alright, so the next question I saw is that Prashant, how to add multiple users in a meeting by copying or pasting mail ID. Alright, that is also pretty easy. I'm going to share the link for that. But I saw Alpesh, he priorly asked from calendar new meeting option. Webinar is also available. Yes. So what I did is I went to calendar. This is my calendar. Here I have the option of new meeting. So if I click on new meeting, it is directly the Teams meeting that you're scheduling. But in case webinar, you can select webinar like that. Live event is also possible. So that's how it works. Okay, and multiple users in the meeting by copying and pasting. Uh, how to add multiple users in a meeting by copying and pasting email ID. Well, I'm going to share that one particular link for that. It is pretty easy. There are the noted steps are there. All right, everyone. If there are any more questions, let me know. Anything, I am still checking the chat window. All right. Then I am so happy that everyone took part in this. So this concludes the webinar. We value our customer feedback every day. So do write us back about your experience with us and your thoughts on this session. We welcome any new ideas or any other topic that you're interested in. Please do let us know, and I'm going to make sure that in the next upcoming topics we talk about that. Also, after this, we just shared or floated a feedback form with you guys. I hope you guys fill in that. Your feedback is really valuable. It will help us to improve, and in the upcoming sessions as well, we are coming to plan up on many more new topics that are coming in. So I'm hoping that you please fill this feedback form, and I'm hoping that we will all. I'm going to see all of you in the upcoming sessions, and I also look forward to interacting with all of you.
Is it audible to you now? Hello.
Yeah, please tell.
Can you show me that thing? Basically, how can I add multiple users? Basically, I can't do that thing. Basically, I have to type that person name and then I can only add that person. If I have a list of persons, that's like a 5 to 10 persons or other 50 to 100% limited persons. I want to add that in a meeting. How can I make that thing? It's a copying pasting like that. Because I have to write a basically I have to copy a single mail ID and paste it for a create a meeting. Can you show me for a little bit?
Yeah, just
List
a
of
sec.
just
Yeah, let me change the interface. Just a second. On this, go to new meeting. Okay. Write down who are your required attendees. Just click here, and I'm going to write down some people name. All right. Just put down. Here at this point, you just need to do. Let's say if you have the whole email ID, just copy paste it. You do Control C from that one particular. Let's say you have an Excel which you are referring. Just Control C and just put down Control V here. That's it. It's very
can you
simple.
please? Yes, agree. I with this. Can you show me this thing?
Okay, let me do that. I have Control V. Can you see? This is how it's working. This is very simple.
Not. No. I'm not telling this thing. You have to copy 3 mail IDs at same time and paste it on that thing. Not
Yeah,
a indie.
okay, see.
Not I'm trying.
Okay, this is one. Okay, fine. If you want another, then we have it.
No, madam, he is talking about multiple mail ID at a time. He has one Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, there is a 5 mail ID, and
Yeah.
just he want to copy all the 5 mail ID and paste here. Like
Yeah,
that.
then he can just like I'm right now copying pasting. That way he can
No,
just copy paste
no.
it
This
right there.
he's asking for when he
Paste.
want more than 100 mail ID and 100 mail ID are need to copy over here at a single click.
On a just one single click, they directly come out here.
No. Basically, I have to copy mail approximately 5 mail IDs at a time. I have to paste it at individually. You're doing as a individual copies, pasting, copying, pasting, copying, pasting. It's a work from 50 times. If I have a mail ID is a 50, I have to do it 50 times. If I have a mail ID 100, I have to do it 100 times. But I won't do in a single shot. If there are 50
Okay.
mail IDs,
Hello.
Okay, I understood. If there are 50
Hello.
people, then then altogether those 50 people should come, correct? All right, then it's very simple. From that Excel sheet, okay, you select all the cells all together, like just this. I don't know, I cannot open Excel right now. You just select all together, put them. You just
Just
do a copy paste.
just a simple thing. I'm trying to say, to type in a chat box. There's a two mail ID is a separator by the comma or anything else, and paste it like it. Is it working or not?
All right. Until then, please make training for Power BI and to do. Of course, definitely. Next, I'm definitely will plan for Power BI. And who do we have in a particular question? Anyone? All right. Looking at the essence of the time that we have, I believe let's close this session. Anyone who has any more doubts, I would all request all of you to please email me. I will make sure to answer on an individual basis. I'll also I can arrange a call if required. All right, and I'm looking forward to connect with you all soon. Please fill the feedback form after this. Thank you.